Hello, everybody. First of all, I want to thank the National Institute for Heritage for the invitation here to Krakow. It's my first time in Poland, and it's a great pleasure for me to be here, that I can present my work from the last 23 years. So, my name is Burkhard Munchow. I'm a carpenter, I'm a craftsman, and I'm a window restorer. I'm restoring windows since 23 years, and I'm working with wood, glass, metal, and linseed oil paint. So, and I was thinking about how to start this speech, and I just show you just a few pictures from the last 23 years, just finished projects. All these windows you can see are restored. So no more words, just enjoy the nice buildings, the nice regions, and the nice windows. I don't speak. So, just pictures. Switzerland. Cool. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, this is in Chur. We worked also in Switzerland. This is a building by Bruno Giacometti, the little brother from Alberto. And yeah, just some buildings close by. 1848. It's in Frankfurt. So you heard a lot about windows right now. You know, the most things, different styles, different sizes. This was the biggest project. These are windows from 1950. This is the Historical Museum in Frankfurt. We had, I think, around 140 windows, and we worked 2 years on this project. This in Hanau. This is my hometown, or close to my hometown. This is Limburg, one of the oldest houses, and we stored some windows, some shutters, and some entrance doors. It's before, after. This is one of my favorite places. It's in the northern part of Germany. It's Ratzeburg. It's an old monastery. And here we have to talk about the communication between architects, planners, and craftsmen. First of all, every single piece needs a number, just a number, one number. So this is the plan. This starts with a plan. We restored all these windows in, I think, around 4 years. So they don't have to spend so much money at one time. So every single year, maybe 15 or so. And then there is a phone call. The architect calls, hey, I have some old windows. Can you come here? And then I said, first of all, I need a plan. And then he sent me these types of windows, the amount of windows, and I get an impression what I have to talk about with him. This is important. This is really well done. This is an actual project. We don't have the job right now, but we're looking for it. Send some pictures, so I got an impression, and mostly I have to talk a lot with the people to convince them, yeah, to what is on with the windows, what kind of treasure they have. You heard about the good material, the wood, the glass, the metal. And then maybe we got the job. The first step is we remove the windows, the sashes, bring them to our shop, and we have to close the window frame still there, but the sashes are in our job, so we have the so-called Baufenster. So we need so the weather cannot destroy my painting. When I paint the color, I need a dry place. So this is in Munich. And then you come to the apartment, full equipped apartments, the people are living there. And first of all, you have to cover and to shelter the furniture, the carpets. I always say it to my people when I had some employees, think about how you want that a craftsman work at your house. So most of the time it works, so don't damage anything, a lot of respect for the people's place. Second step, remove the sashes and start removing the color from the frames. Yeah. This is the construction site work. So there's a construction site work, and there's work in my shop. So first, construction site. This is a museum. This was really quite a heavy job to transport 140 windows at one time. The architect says to me, just put all the windows out. You don't want to be here in a month, because then there are 150 people working. Sometimes I missed some windows, they're still there. Where the stairs are, and then suddenly the stairs were away and couldn't reach the windows anywhere. So I had to wait a half a year to reach the windows, because the stairs are just built new. There was just a big thing in Frankfurt. And this, you can see how we work. We are not removing color when the people are working there, because it stinks. Yeah, it stinks a lot. But we can do the paintings then. They were still working, and we were still quiet and friendly. We had coffee there. And this is Sotheby's Frankfurt. So we have to clean up the windows all the time, because they had a lot of paper overall. But it was a nice job, yeah. So then, very important, you remember the plan of the house. There was the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to wherever. And then I worked on the sashes. So sign the glass with a number. So this is a system, this is position 5.1. And then you have system 5.2, 5.6, how many glasses are in there. Next point, here it goes. So I find always I find odd numbers, yeah. And this is the black one, it's just, I wrote it on the construction side, but then I need a number because I paint the windows. And this is a so-called, I don't know, I hit the number. There are numbers you can hit in the wood. Don't hit it in the middle, because maybe sometimes the glass will break. Hit it in the side, because there's a construction stable. Here you can see really the good condition of the wood, the very close rings of the wood. Very slow grown wood on the north side, very good quality. So also the ceilings, sign the ceilings. Every ceiling has to go back on its place. Every thing you remove from this window has to go back on his place in the same direction. Makes it much easier, because this worked for more than 100 years. So most of the windows are between 70 years and 300 years I'm working on. So signing the every single piece. So now, this is a difficult part, or a dangerous part. Yeah, remove the glass. You know how hard putty can be. Yeah. So we soften the putty with an infrared machine, or this is a speed heater. I work since 23 years with a speed heater. I think I was the first one in Germany who worked with a speed heater. And the glass is a treasure, absolutely. This is really expensive to buy such a glass. There are not so many places where you can buy the glass. So that's the reason why when I can get some old windows, they are thrown away, I try to get the old glass. This is really important. Also the wood or the metal things. Save it. If something is thrown away, save that stuff. You can use it a second time. And to give the glass a little bit shelter, I have some wet tissue over there that's not getting too hot. When you're going to have a coffee, then everything's burning and everything is destroyed. You see some tools. That's also very important. The less is more. Don't put 10 tools or something like that. You're confused. Imagine you're doing that the next whole week. Just removing color, removing putty, hard putty. And I just, you can also restore putty. I also restore putty. There are different levels of restoring. Just remove the wie sagt man, lose, the loose things. Just remove the loose color. Just remove the loose putty. Clean it up. Put the putty back again, and just paint it a little bit. That's it. The window is safe for the next 20 years. For the time maybe, if people have some money. All the other things in the house cost much more than restore windows, but save the windows. Just give them some oil, give them putty. Just in the inside, I saw some pictures. Just clean them. Just clean it at the inside. Inside is only aesthetic. The important thing is to make a high-quality conservation at the outside, where the weather is coming. So remove the color, the putty, and remove the color. This is the dirt job, the so-called absolute dirt job. But you have special tools, During 23 years, you're developing your own tools. You're searching everywhere in every single country I am. I go to the shops where I can buy tools to find some things, to try some things. It's just an experiment, always. So here you can see the speed heater in action. He pushed up, doesn't matter how many layers of color there are. He pushed them up because most of the time the first layer is linseed oil paint. And this expand and push everything up. And I have a little film right now, no, not raw. You can see there are a lot of color coming just with one push. And during the time the speed heater is working, I'm working with my heat gun behind him or beside. I'm not waiting for the time until he is moving the putty and the color. The concentration is on the putty, and the color has gone away with this infrared system. That's excellent. It's unbelievable. Yeah. So this is a window. The frame is made of pine, and the Wetterschenkel, how it's called, Wetterschenkel, the lower part is oak. Okapnik, yeah, the lower part. The okapnik is oak. So they thought about how to choose the wood. So. Yeah, just filmed with one hand and the other hand is working. Not very professional filming, but. Does anybody know what kind of tool I use there? Have you seen that before? You can buy it in every single supermarket, or not supermarket, or we can buy some tools. Somebody has something at home? This is for removing grass between stones. Scratch grass out of stones. This is my tool. I use this special thing I use. So this is a scraper, and the putty is gone. So then, remove the color at the inside. If the customer wants a nice window and he wants to see the profile is very important for the light inside. You see the changing of the light in the profile. Really fascinating. Mostly they are full painted, and then you can get them sharp again. You have to start the corners because they need the most time, and the profiles need the most time. Start on the surface, you burn the profiles later on. So, and one way is just to hang the window. So I don't have to look downside, so I can stand straight. Remove the color from the metal because it also needs a longer time. And then it looks like that. Without sanding, this is just with sharp scrapers, carefully, without removing wood. So now we're coming to working on the metal. The left one is just brushed. Just brush it. It's clean then. The rust is just, there's not that much rust. This is a ceiling from a window, just cleaned. It's brass. This is there was a nice word. There was a nice word later on. The turning button. This is the turning button. Paint it all over. Just clean it. Somebody wants them in a metal look. Some wants them painted. And yeah, this is a self-made. This I try myself as a blacksmith. So I did this little thing down there, a Baroque turning button by myself. So if I need hundreds of them, I need a blacksmith. So I work with other conservators, with other craftsmen. It's very important to have contacts to other experts. So I'm not doing everything, but the most thing I can do by myself. Just cleaned. In the house again. This is my shop, and this is the most difficult work, but most of the windows are not that broken down. And in a house you have different sides, north side, east side, west side, south side. If you are broken down, if the people don't care about their windows, the water's going in and the wood starts rotten. And this is a difficult part, yeah. Sometimes I have customers, they would like to paint their windows by themselves. I said, every little step you would like to do by yourself, you can share money, and you will see how much work it is. They are the nicest customers if they start working with me. So, but the wood repairings, this is a kind of, this is really difficult. And I used, you saw the quality of the wood. We heard about the quality of the wood. I used 100-year-old wood at least. So also from the old windows, I saved this wood. Or last year we have to reconstruct a nice Treppe, the stairs, wooden stairs, 120 years old, and now I have wood oak to repair for the end of my life. Sad, that was sad, really sad. But you cannot save everything. This is the window from the monastery. So, yeah, this is my little shop. I don't have that much space, but we are a high-equipped, good-equipped shop. So I'm working there on this window. Interesting construction, but this is I think, yeah, this is an oak window. I think that was around 200, 300 years old, still repaired. This is like a shoe, like the shoe in your shoes, the shoe sole. This is just less than 10% if I have to repair a lot. And when you ask how much does it cost or how much how much time you need, yeah? There was one guy, he said to me, count for each wood repairing 1 hour. And the amount, then you're fine. Yeah. This costs money, and most of the time I can't see the damages of the windows before I remove the color and before I remove the putty. And that's the reason why I said to my customer, oh man, maybe I find some problems here, so I just say, this is an eventual amount of money I use. I show you all the pictures, you're coming to my shop, I show you the damages, and then I say how much it costs, or I work by hour. Normally I make the fixed price, yeah. But these works I cannot calculate. This is difficult. So suddenly, oops, there's a hole in the wood, yes, a hole in the window. What's happened here? Much of water was running in there. Nobody cares. That's the point, you know. Nothing can exist without carrying for it or just looking for it. Everything has to be, you have to look for your windows, always. Also for new windows. Silicone also starts rotten and breaks down, and nobody's put some oil in this window. There's written on every single window, you know, just put some oil here once a year. Nobody's doing that. Oh, my window's not working anymore. What can I do? All these rotten things. Okay, now next film. Just a technique with the router. And the point is, you know, just do as much as necessary, like a dentist, and as little as possible, to hold the much original substance as possible. And very important, so this is the result, very important is to hold the lines, that you know how long was the window, where is the tongue, I call it tongue, Zapfen, and where are my lines, you know, this is very important. So it's done, yeah, maybe 2 or 3 hours. And the very interesting thing is I have some windows in the workshop tomorrow. I repair parts of the window that were repaired maybe 400 years ago. So I can take a look, how do they repair 100 years ago or 150 years ago? What is better, what I'm doing in a different way, or what is my, you know, I can learn from these old guys, from our fathers, grandfathers, grandfathers. This is really fascinating how they did all these jobs. Just some pictures, wood repairings. This is so-called in German Würfelbruch. You know, there's the lowest part there. The water's running in from the inside, from the outside, and it starts rotten there. And it's easy to put this out. You know, they are only 2 wooden nails. Remove them, put the wood out, and then you can work on it. As a carpenter, it's not a problem. If you're a little bit creative, just put it on the saw, just cut it, not build a new one, because then I change the inside view. Just the less as possible. So, and it looks like that. We call this inlay. Everything's fine, again, for the next 100 years. So here you can, this is a new sole here, this is a tongue new, this is just, that was a heavy accident, this window, but that needs maybe 4 or 5 hours. You know, you sorted the windows. When you remove the color and you remove the putty, you sort the windows. Oh, the most damage, the less damage, and then you start with the less damage and go up to the higher level reparation, and then you are just informed. You get into that. You just one single, you get informed. So this is a door we did this year. I think we did this year. And this is what I taught. I had to talk to my customer. I said, I need this eventually hours. We need a hell lot of hours for that. But this is one of the highest-minded reparations I did. And I have a partner, a young man. I'm with him since he's 8 years, he's 35 years now. And I'm waiting for the time that he said, hey, Burkhard, you're getting slow. Because I was so fast all the time, and now he's getting better and better and better, and he's the next generation. And this is the point, to fascinate young people, just to craftsman work, to be in the tradition of these old guys, fathers, grandfathers, and so on. And now this is an oval, up above, just up above there. I removed the color. Oh, everything was rotten. This is the lowest edge standing in the water all the time. You cannot open it, so you cannot take care of it. So it starts rotten. Repaired. So on the new wooden cross, you need a carpenter who would like to repair, who would like to be satisfied to give the new life for this window. You can remember this window. Now I'm start painting, the wood is repaired. I start painting the first layer, just the Grundierung, how we call it, Grundierung, the first priming, the whole window. This is a mixture, 60% color, 30% raw linseed oil, and 10% maybe balsam turpentine. In the old times, they did it like this way. So I don't use shellac, and I don't use oil because the wood is just filled up with oil. When I put more oil on that, the color is not fastened then, and it's getting hard. You know, you have to work from mager to fett. Mager. It's getting more and more greasy in the painting. You know, I put the next layer is only paint. Ah, thank you. And in the third layer, there's so-called Standöl. Standöl? You know that? Stand oil, you know, just 5%, and that makes the color, the linseed oil paint, more stable for longer. So painting, and this is a very important part for me. This is the important part. I have around 60, 70 places to hang windows. The windows are drying during hanging in my shop. You cannot stand them on the ground or whatever. They have to hang. First layer of color, the before glazing. So sanding, and now going back to the glass, clean the glass. Wow, and the putty is still hard there. So there are two ways to remove the hard putty. First one is just with a scraper, but when it's getting too hard, I have a steamer. Yeah, you know Kasha? There are these little steamers. You just warm up the putty, and it's easy to remove. Everything has to be movie. If it's getting hard and you need too much power, you're doing something wrong. Just wait a little bit more, make it soft, take care of this. You know, my heart is bleeding when I break a glass. And I think right now I'm at least then 5% glass broken, yeah. You cannot look inside the glass. There can be some damages, and sometimes you're not concentrated, but it's not very often. This is clean. Here you see still the numbers are still there. And now we're coming to the glazing, kind of old technique. It's very interesting if you go to a fair and you show my stuff, the best thing you can do is to glaze. The old people, they all knew the smell from putty. The old ladies are standing there where they were smiling. And I said to them, hey, you put your fingers in the putty when your father was repairing the windows, and they were smiling much more. And then I said, hey, you would like to have some putty? And I gave them some putty, and they start playing with putty. These older people know, and the kids were playing with putty. My father still had a putty in the water, standing in the water, you know. And they were smiling, they were happy, and they were leaving. I was just, wow. And so when I'm working my shop, I have some kids around. Here's some putty, you can play with that. And they will remember the smell forever and ever. Because smell, you can remember smell. So, you know, first, I don't know how you call it, Falz, where the glass is sleeping or the glass is laying. First you put the putty in the so-called putty bed, then you put the glass inside, just push it down very slowly, and then there's a special technique. The most of them just use their thumb, but when I'm glazing a week, my thumb is just gone somewhere. So I put it like a conditor, just move it in. And the most time you lose are in the corners. So it doesn't matter if the window sized 1 meter or 2 meter, you're going the straight way, easy going, but the corners, they has to be correct and straight. And one really, really brilliant detail is you have to go back 2 millimeters from the ground of the bed. You can understand, you have to go 2 millimeters back because I paint my color 2 to 3 millimeters on the glass. The painter who's saying, oh, I don't touch the glass with my color. Oh, wow. But I cover the putty with a color, 2 millimeters. And you don't want to, you don't want to look at the putty from the other side. That's looking ugly. So, go back 2 millimeters, paint 2 millimeters on the window. This is the window from the monastery. Can you remember? Yeah, we see it later on. So, next one. This is a film, or? Here we go. In the corners, yeah. Later on. So first, strip the long distance, and then start on the corners. Concentration. It's a nice work. That's for me the nice work. My hands are soft from the oil, and such a fun to have this material, this natural material in my hands. That's fascinating. That's done. And this is the first layer of the things. Now the putty gets 2 layers of color. So this is a freehand painting on the glass. We started, you can paint much more on the glass, and then you have to remove it again, but we took more time, just make a freehand painting. So freehand painting, you can see the handmade line. It's not looking technical if you just cut it a straight line. So we have special brushes, really special brushes. You can see them tomorrow if you're there. Amazing. I worked 2 or 3 years with my brush, and he's still, he got all these kilometers in himself. So here you can see the hang system. Oh, remember the door? This is an oak door from 1800, I think 86. Oh, next film. Just torture the color. Torture that. Just don't take care, just bring the color on the wood, and after that, you just can draw the line. Yeah, just bring it on, just everywhere, and thin, very important, linseed oil, color, thin, very thin. Don't be afraid that that you can see, you will see that here right now. You see the new wood right now, first layer, second layer, third layer, everything's fine. You can see, and that's an important thing why my customers have to come to my shop. They have to see this kind of work, yeah. I had tons of pics for my customers, always. Here, you have to see my work. First layer done and delivered. Same door. Oh, 83, they're not much anymore. This is also in Limburg, close to me, between Frankfurt and Colonia. So now we're coming back to the frames again. Removing color on frames needs a little bit acrobatic talent. This is a special heat gun. This is a so-called Leicester Swiss product. Just, you have no vibrations in your hand. Imagine you're doing that for a week. I have all these heat guns with vibration, the motor is in your hand. This is an extra motor, extra heat gun up there, and I get some fresh air. Sometimes color stinks very awful. But yeah, this is just kind of a mask, blows me fresh air in my face. Schon? Oh, I hurry up, sorry. Remove color on frames. Linseed oil paint on wood. Monastery again, delivering the windows. Here are the windows, you saw them, remember? From the inside. That's, I think, Baroque overlight, I would say. Delivering the windows, hard job. So drive them through the whole nation, just from north to south to 600 kilometers without break anything, to make a scratch in the color makes you really pain. So this is also art. Documentation, very important sometimes. This is an old window, just the legend here, glass. Everything is shown what you're repaired. Documentation for the, and this is a so-called primer. So I leave some color for the next generation. I don't put the color away there. I overpaint it, and everybody can do research there. Again, this is a nice part right now, some impressions. It's also my town, that's Switzerland. I did all the shutters, all the windows. This is the Ingo Maurer showroom in Munich. And this is my last picture. This is Kronberg Castle. Just imagine, sit there, have a break, take a deep breath, and then you feel the aura or the magic of these kind of tools. You need a lot of passion to do that. Thank you very much.
tak? Proszę sobie komfortowo zjeść, o której panowie dotrą, to jest okej. Jak panowie nie dotrą, to też jest okej. Także proszę sobie spokojnie zjeść. Marta będzie stała na straży panów pilnowarzy, panów doprowadzi na spokojnie, dobrze? Ja pewnie też z panem
But I'm sure I saw one of them here, making a lot of photos. Maybe we can have them later. I think so. Yeah, yeah.
Proponuję zacząć, bo jak pan puknie tutaj do mikrofonu, to...
Halo, halo, dzień dobry Państwu. Już zaczynamy za chwilę. Można zaczynać? Ja. Moje nazwisko Berne, nazywam się Albert Berne. Bez obawy, ja będę się bardzo streszczał, bo mam okazję i przyjemność przedstawić Państwu dwóch kolejnych gości, którzy będą mieli, mam nadzieję, sporo ciekawych rzeczy do zaprezentowania, do opowiedzenia i również poprowadzą jutrzejsze warsztaty, szczególnie pan Munchow. To jest, zacznę od tego, że pan Munchow, który jest z Niemiec, reprezentuje zawód, który nazywa się Fensterhandwerker. Spróbuję to jak gdyby przetłumaczyć na język polski. Nie jest to łatwe, bo wychodzi z tego rzemieślnik okienny w zasadzie. Jest to zawód, który trafił do Niemiec albo odtworzony został według skandynawskich wzorców, a w Skandynawii od początku lat 80. jest to oficjalny państwowy zawód. Zawód polega na tym, że rzemieślnik musi łączyć w sobie, w swoich umiejętnościach, umiejętności stolarza, malarza, szklarza i kowala. Czyli zajmując się renowacją zabytkowej stolarki okiennej, musi być samodzielnym fachowcem, który samodzielnie odpowiada za jakość swojej pracy i za końcowy efekt. Co ważne, muszą być to osoby jednocześnie świadome chociażby zapisów karty weneckiej, czyli świadome również materiału i technologii, które używają. Czyli rzeczy mają być tradycyjne, sprawdzone i trwałe. To jest to, co łączy na przykład wszystkich w Skandynawii, to się nazywa Fensterhandwerker, czyli bardzo zbliżone określenie do niemieckiego. Co ich wszystkich łączy w pracy na przykład to, że wszyscy używają zawsze tylko i wyłącznie wysokiej jakości oleju lnianego i farb, prawdziwych farb z oleju lnianego. To jest coś, co mnie osobiście, czego bardzo brakuje w Polsce, gdzie widzę czasami bardzo często fachowe renowacje wykonywane tygodniami i miesiącami przez naszych fachowców, którzy już na koniec nieraz nie mają cierpliwości i używają akrylowych powłok, aby było szybciej czasami i po prostu, żeby było szybciej. To jest, bo to wszystko trwa. Niestety stolarka okienna i drewno wymagają cierpliwości i wymagają również powłok, które wymagają cierpliwości. Farba lniana z oleju lnianego była przez wieki, miała swój inny synonim. Była farbą okienną, nazywała się Fensterfarbe. To jest nie przez przypadek, bo znamy doskonałe rezultaty używania tej farby i okna, które zachowały się w doskonałym stanie właśnie dlatego, że nie zostały zmarnowane przez użycie czegoś, co u nas się nazywa również farbą olejną, a tak naprawdę jest to nic innego jak emalia wtalowa, którą znienawidzona od lat 60. Do lat 40. nie było innej farby, nie istniała inna farba niż prawdziwa farba z oleju lnianego i to była farba używana do zabezpieczania okien. Oczywiście trzeba rodzaje farby, nawet lnianej i rodzaje oleju lnianego bardzo odróżniać. To tyle, ile chodzi o te powłoki. To jest więcej o samym cyklu całej renowacji zabytkowej stolarki okiennej opowie oczywiście pan Burkhard Munchow i później w naturalny sposób przejdzie, dlatego jest obecność również w naturalny sposób przejdziemy do obecności pana Gunnara Ottosona, który jest ze Szwecji i zaprezentuje rezultaty kilkudziesięciu lat swojej pracy nad odtworzeniem historycznych metod wytwarzania olejów lnianych do konserwacji drewna, tych używanych w budownictwie i prawdziwej farby z oleju lnianego. Bardzo dziękuję. Przekazuję głos.